is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with us. A 16-year-old boy is charged as an adult accused of killing his newborn child.
Logan Kruckenberg Anderson is being held at the Rock County Juvenile Detention Center on $1 million cash bail. The Greene County District Attorney's Office released the criminal complaint for this case this afternoon, and we want to warn you, it is rather graphic. Our Jamie Perez joins us now with what was in that complaint. Jamie?
Kruckenberg Anderson could face life in prison if he is convicted. Now, according to that criminal complaint, we found out that he originally told investigators that he paid a friend named Tyler $60 to take the child to an adoption center in Madison, but he later admitted that he took the baby into the woods, covered it in snow, and shot it twice in the head. He appeared for his initial appearance this afternoon, where his preliminary hearing was set for 10:30 a.m. on the 20th of this month. And coming up tonight at 6, I'll have a little bit more of a comprehensive report giving a little bit more details of what exactly was in that criminal complaint.
Jamie Perez reporting. Jamie, thank you. The Department of Health and Human Services announcing 4 big changes to its COVID-19 vaccine rollout guidelines. The department says vaccine production is now predictable enough that they can release the entire current supply while ensuring timely second doses for everyone. Those changes follow last week's announcement by the incoming Biden administration that it was planning to do the same thing. They are asking all states to open up vaccinations to everyone age 65 and over and adults under 65 with a comorbidity. HHS also wants states to not have vaccinations centered at hospitals and allow for more channels of distribution into the communities. And finally, in 2 weeks, states will be allocated vaccines based on how quickly they are administered and the number of residents 65 and over.
We still don't know who will be in the next group, Group 1B, but a state committee gave us a decent hint. Their recommendations to the DHS today include people over 70, people living in family care and shelters, inmates, teachers, and first responders.
The only people DHS has guaranteed on that list are police and firefighters. Amanda Quintana has details on who has already been vaccinated in that group and who is becoming eligible now.
While police and fire departments are technically considered Group 1B, many, if not most, local firefighters have already been vaccinated because they're also EMTs.
Similar to all the testing that's going on at the Alliant Energy Center, they have a separate line there, basically for all of the EMS providers in the county.
Chase Dedman said about 60% of Madison's almost 400 firefighters have been vaccinated in just the last 2 weeks, with about 70% saying that they're willing to get it.
We just feel fortunate to be getting it right now, and some of our members are actually helping give the vaccine at the Alliant Energy Center, so we're trying to help in any way that we can.
Although Stedman says this won't change much of their operations. The department will still wear masks and practice social distancing. The vaccine could have a big impact on staffing. Fewer people having to quarantine and less taxpayer money used for overtime.
Now we got to list 10, 15, 20 people from the fire department. That's going to put us out of business.
Columbus firefighters haven't been vaccinated yet. Chief Randy Keene says they haven't been able to hold meetings or trainings out of fear of the whole department getting exposed. For their small volunteer department, losing just a few of their only 36 firefighters could put the community in danger.
I don't like getting a shot in the arm, but in this case, bring it on.
An email from the local hospital just this morning asking for a list of firefighters who want vaccinations means Keene and his team might be close to getting their extra layer of protection soon. Amanda Quintana, News 3 Now.
Vaccine distribution is continuing in veterans hospitals across the state, including the Madison VA.
So we're over 1,900 employees vaccinated to date. And as of today, we're over 500 veterans vaccinated so far, and we're hoping that number is going to grow quickly over the next several weeks.
The William S. Middleton Memorial VA Hospital is prioritizing veterans by age. They're vaccinating vets who are 85 years old and older first, and then 75 years old and older.
Data from DHS shows that more than 8,000 people got vaccines in Wisconsin yesterday. Statewide, more than 163,000 shots are in arms so far. About 2/3 of those are from Pfizer. About 58,000 are Moderna's vaccine. And at least 5,297 Wisconsinites have died now of coronavirus since the start of the pandemic. 47 new deaths confirmed today. State and county health officials recorded 2,870 new cases. That more than doubles Monday's count. The state has reached an all-time total 511,415 confirmed cases. About 28,000 remain active.
It could be weeks before Wisconsin sees government action on coronavirus relief, despite the state Senate passing a bill this afternoon.
Amy Reed joins us now to explain the holdup here. Amy?
The bill, which was an amended version of the one that passed the Assembly last week, passed the Senate today with only 2 lawmakers voting no. It pulls back on some of the more divisive elements of the Assembly bill, like the measures that put limits on local public health departments and school boards. The Senate Majority Leader told me yesterday the Senate would have gone further than what the Assembly did, but even one of the chamber's most conservative members today said the goal was to pass something the governor would sign. Since it's different than the Assembly version, it also has to go through that chamber before the governor, though, and the Majority Leader there said this bill falls too short. In a statement, we will continue to advocate for the priorities of our constituents over the next few weeks as we move toward a response to the Senate's actions during our next floor period excuse me, later this month. The Majority Leader also tweeted today about what he thinks the governor will skip over tonight in the State of the State address, highlighting issues he sees with the Department of Workforce Development and the vaccine rollout. Evers is planning on dedicating the speech to COVID victims and will likely spend much of the speech talking about the state's response to the virus. And you can watch that whole thing live tonight on Channel 3000, and we'll bring you the highlights tonight at 10.
Amy, thank you. Madison and Dane County will receive an estimated combined $16 million for eviction prevention. City and county leaders are working to rush a federal aid package for rental assistance before January ends. The mayor says 90% of the $16 million in aid will likely go directly to eviction relief, although she says the aid will only scratch the surface in addressing the need in the community.
We know that our communities of color have been hardest hit by the pandemic and the unemployment crisis. And I am committed to making sure that this aid gets to the people who need it the most.
City officials say they're anticipating even more funding to come once President-elect Biden takes office. The application process for receiving aid is set to begin the first week of February.
Cloudy start to the day. We could see some mixed precipitation later in the week. A look at your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on the weather patio. Gary?
Well, Eric, we started out cloudy, but then we had some sunshine. One of the few days we actually had sunshine through much of southern Wisconsin. Looks like we're on the wrong graphic there, but let's take a look at and see if we can get this to go backwards here a little bit. There's the live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam, and you can see we've got just a little bit of haziness to the sky. There's a little bit of fog out to the east of Madison. In fact, right now visibility down to about 5 miles in Watertown, 7 miles in Juneau, but 10 miles or better from Madison on toward the west. So we look at current temperatures. Right now, they're in the lower to middle 30s. Madison right at the freezing mark. To the east, temperatures are a little bit colder because they've been underneath cloud cover for more of the day. They're in the upper 20s. Boscobel, though, at 37. They were at 39 last hour. By tomorrow morning, those temperatures will drop off into the lower, middle to upper 20s with some patchy fog that can continue tomorrow morning. Otherwise, it'll be variably cloudy for tomorrow with a high temperature of 36. But we have some changes in the forecast with some mixed precipitation Thursday and some snow Thursday night. I'll tell you how much we can expect in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. With impeachment ahead, the House is first trying to push the vice president and cabinet to act even more quickly to remove President Trump from office. Just moments ago, the third-ranking House Republican Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney says she'll vote to impeach the president. Democrats are set to pass a resolution calling on Vice President Pence to invoke constitutional authority under the 25th Amendment to oust the president. Democratic lawmakers say he's a danger to democracy. Impeachment proceedings are set for tomorrow. The vice president has shown no inclination to invoke the 25th Amendment. President Trump is to face a single impeachment charge on incitement of insurrection.
A man was arrested today in Eau Claire on charges related to last week's riot at the U.S. Capitol. Kevin Daniel Loftus posted on Facebook that he was among those wanted for illegally entering the Capitol. He made his initial appearance in federal court where he was released on conditions. In the wake of the riot at the Capitol, multiple federal law enforcement agencies have pushed for arrests and charges for those involved. To date, authorities have arrested people in Arizona, Florida, and Iowa, among other states.
Justice Department officials are asking those who participated in last week's Capitol riot to voluntarily come forward, warning that the cases brought so far are just the tip of the iceberg.
Those 170 cases that have already been opened, and I anticipate that's going to grow to the hundreds in the next coming weeks, we've already charged over 70 cases. We're looking at significant felony cases tied to sedition and conspiracy.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer calling for known rioters to be placed on a no-fly list. At least 10 Capitol police officers are now under investigation in connection to last week's assault, including one who was seen posing for selfies with rioters.
President Trump made his first public comments since his supporters breached the U.S. Capitol last week. The president says he does not want violence, but later in the day he took no responsibility for his part in the violent insurrection at the Capitol.
If you read my speech, and many people have done it, and I've seen it both in the papers and in the media, on television, it's been analyzed, and people thought that what I said was totally appropriate.
The comments come a day before the House is expected to vote to impeach the president for the second time in his presidency. Some major corporations nationwide are cutting off funding to members of Congress who voted to overturn election results last week. So far, the list includes firms like Hallmark, AT&T, Commerce Bank, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and more. Two of Wisconsin's congressional delegation voted to block that certification and are backed by massive Wisconsin-based companies. Tonight at 6, News 3 Investigates is asking them if they have plans to cut off funding to these representatives.
Earlier today, Madison police investigated a possible explosive device. This was near Regent and South Brook Streets. A witness reported seeing a person throw a small package on top of the SSM Health building there on Regent around noon. The person who threw the package told the witness it was a highly explosive device. The center was then evacuated. About an hour later, officers cleared the scene and confirmed it was not an explosive device, but rather a red ball. More to come on News 3 now at 5. Up next, why the Madison Police Department is making their officers take some time off. And coming up tonight at 6, a new SSM Health COVID vaccination site officially open. Tell you about the new site in Sun Prairie. That's ahead at 6. And a modest gain today in Tuesday trading on Wall Street as the Dow jumps at even 60. The NASDAQ adds an even 36. The S&P up 1.5 points. We'll be right back.
This is the big one, folks. The Brothers Maine Everything's on Sale sale. Get huge clearance prices on every brand in the store with 0% financing for up to 18 months. Only Maine delivers more satisfaction every day, like a risk-free 30-day price satisfaction guarantee, giving you 100% confidence in your purchase. How's that for more? The Everything's on Sale sale with more selection, more savings, and more happy homes on everything. Now at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
At U.S. Cellular, we're building a powerful 5G network that works without interruption in the places you wouldn't expect. And with every plan at U.S. Cellular, you get access to 5G at no additional charge. So no matter where you are, U.S. Cellular's network always keeps you connected in the places you need it most. At U.S. Cellular, all of our plans include 5G and get unlimited data for just $30 a month with 4 lines. U.S. Cellular.
The forecast calls for a messy commute. The Ford lineup helps keep you in command. Intelligent four-wheel drive monitors traction, and a terrain management system adapts to road conditions at the turn of a knob. So you're ready to take on the elements with confidence. Power through the storm in a new Ford Explorer, now with 0% financing for 72 months, plus $4,250 bonus cash. See your Wisconsin dealer today.
At American Family Insurance, we've always protected more than what you drive. We've protected and supported the dreams that drive you. Right now, that means extending our 10% savings on auto premium for all current and new auto customers through March, so you can get a little closer to your dream. Whether your dream is discovering new roads and new limits, or supporting that dream. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Tonight at 6, News 3 investigates where Wisconsin-based companies stand on funding members of Congress who tried to block the certification of Joe Biden's victory. And a teenager will be charged as an adult in the killing of his newborn. The latest from court.
Accurate news as it happens, right here where you live. Information that you can use from the team you can trust. For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Cities, including Madison, are taking closer looks at their police department budgets, but the Madison PD viewed a six-figure item as a must-have in 2021.
Gabriela Becerra explains how a new partnership using that funding will help employees identify stress and ways to alleviate it.
Well, this program was originally supposed to start last year, but the pandemic forced MPD to cut its funding. So when it came time to negotiate for the budget this year, the department decided to make mental health days a priority again.
There's an obvious takeaway to 2020 for Interim Police Chief Vic Wall.
It certainly has made an already difficult job more difficult.
That's why Madison Police are investing $150,000 into making sure that stress doesn't take too heavy of a toll on its officers.
Not only does that impact the officers and sort of their long-term life, but it can impact the community because it impacts how they do their jobs.
All employees, both civilian and sworn, are required to take a mental health day this year and spend 1 hour of that day getting a wellness check.
Sometimes there's stigma that might be associated with reaching out for help or asking for support. And so we want to remove that and just basically say, everybody's doing this.
MPD is partnering with Westside Psychotherapy, where owner Sandra Oikster says they aim to eliminate those stigmas.
Every occupation, every life has challenges for mental health. And our hope is to be able to remove the barriers that might exist to employees of, in law enforcement to seeking assistance if they need it.
All conversations are kept confidential, and employees can talk about whatever they choose. But Oikster says a wellness check usually identifies stressors and ways to relieve them.
In this line of work, we're talking about vicarious trauma. We're talking about the stress of always being in an alert state, hypervigilance. We're talking about shift work, so there's sleep disruptions. We're talking about interpersonal issues in the workforce.
After 30 years in his field, Wall says he's seen that stress change people and hopes this face-to-face connection might help his department.
Maybe some of those folks can recognize some issues and recognize ways to avoid that happening.
Wall says they have tried other methods like peer mediation in the past, but hopes this might be a little more proactive. MPD did try this program with a smaller number of people and says they received positive feedback.
Gabby, thank you. To weather now, let's get a check on the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us. And Gary, it was nice to see the sun today.
Certainly was, and that allowed temperatures to get a little bit above freezing and starting to melt just a little bit of the snow cover. Notice it's not quite as deep as it was a couple of days ago when we saw some amounts close to a foot still on the ground just south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. Now it's more in the 6 to 9 inch range, about 6 inches from Madison southward, and then a little bit less in central Wisconsin, a little bit more in the northwestern part of the state. But notice out to the west, starting to see some patches of little or no snow in western Iowa, and that's because temperatures there have been pretty mild. They're still in the 40s. Here in Madison, we've dropped to 32. Cloud cover has kept temperatures in the upper 20s north and east of Madison, except right along the Lake Michigan shoreline. But you add that moisture to the air, and we're going to start to see some patchy areas of fog form overnight. Seeing that already in northwestern Wisconsin, a little bit in eastern Wisconsin. Visibility is, though, not too bad, generally between about 5 and 8 miles in areas that are seeing fog. But we will see some patchy fog tonight into tomorrow morning. So 3 things you need to know. That's because of the melting of the snow, getting the milder temperatures in here with the sunshine today. Tomorrow, we should be quiet with highs in the middle 30s, but some snow is on the way for Thursday. Now, that could start out as a mix of light snow, rain, or even a little bit of light freezing rain, changing to light snow on Thursday night with a couple of inches of accumulation possible, especially north of Madison. And then seasonably cold weather is expected for this weekend with high temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. Average high temperature is about 26 this time of year, and so really not out of what we'd expect for this time time of year, but there'll be almost daily chances of snow flurries. On future track, notice the clouds continuing overnight or moving in later on tonight, along with the patchy fog. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, maybe a few peaks of sun from time to time. And then as we head into tomorrow night, more clouds. And then here comes that weather system in from the west, arriving early on Thursday morning. Now, this will start out as a mixture of precipitation, but gradually change over to mostly snow as it moves through during the day on Thursday. Temperatures may actually drop off a little bit in the afternoon. And then the back part of the storm system is going to be a large, kind of elongated system with snow showers out to the west, but some of these will wrap back in here for the day on Friday. Snowfall amounts probably about an inch down toward the Illinois state line, maybe 2 or 3 inches north of the Dells, a couple of inches possible north of Madison. There could be some light freezing rain, but notice the amounts, very, very slim amounts, so not expecting widespread icing. For tomorrow, look for some patchy fog in the morning, otherwise variably cloudy skies, high temperature up at 36. Again, that snowfall potential, mainly Thursday night into early Friday morning with a little bit of light freezing rain. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, notice those temperatures dropping back into the mid to upper 20s for the end of the week, through the weekend, and through much of next week. Almost a daily chance of flurries, but no major storm systems expected over that time period. As we take a look at first warn traffic right now, things are looking pretty good on the major highways around Madison. There was an accident earlier on the westbound belt line. That has since been cleared up. As far as travel times, about a 15-minute commute either direction on the belt line between University Avenue and I-3990. Heading out of Madison, it'll take you 25 minutes from the belt line southward to Janesville on I-3990. On US 12 from Middleton to Sauk City, it's a 16-minute commute, and it'll take you 18 minutes from downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. Ahead on News 3 now at 5, a popular Wisconsin athlete set to host Jeopardy. We'll tell you who it is ahead at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's a fact. We use our internet and TV more than ever, with most of us spending nearly 7 hours a day online. So it's no wonder thousands of families are switching to Spectrum, because most families have up to 8 connected devices, which means they need even more speed. Switch to Spectrum Internet and get the fastest starting speeds for the price. 200 megabits for just $44.99 a month, with a free modem and free security suite included. Call 833-546-4499. When it comes to TV, we're watching more than ever. In fact, 80% of us watch TV every day. Spectrum TV lets you catch all your favorite sports, news, and more live. Plus, download the free Spectrum TV app and watch on your devices. Switch to Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-546-4499. The fact is, Spectrum has the best services at the best price. Switch to Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. We'll even buy out your current contract. Call 833-546-4499.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. Keep a neighbor in crisis safely in their home during these difficult times by supporting and donating to the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto helps people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Dear all-wheel drive, I'm your new co-pilot, Camry. Let's show the road what we've got. Snowy streets, we're coming for you. Icy grip, we're holding tight. Wintry mix, meh. Safety's the name of our game. Steady, Camry all-wheel drive.
Right now, you can get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Toyota Camry. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Extended through January 15th. Join Planet Fitness for no enrollment. $10 a month, no commitment. 2020 is over. Start 2021 with tons of ways to get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. And spread out while you work out with cardio distancing and our new crowd meter. Plus, use our app to get moving anywhere. Your fitness is essential, so kick things off with the year's best deal. Join for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. Deal ends January 15th.
5 Madison area locations. Sign up for $10 a month. Stop in today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back, everyone. Our farmers are struggling to get food out to the public, and our neighbors are struggling to put food on the table. Now a new program is looking to tackle both issues. A new partnership will allow Dane County to buy dairy, meat, and produce from local farmers to stock Dane County food pantries through at least the end of July. It's all thanks to a new $5 million deal between county leaders and Second Harvest Food Bank. Second Harvest says it's serving twice as many families as usual right now. We have several ways that you can help your neighbors too. You can learn more right now on our website, channel3000.com.
One of my idols growing up was Alex Trebek, you know, and being able to be on Jeopardy years ago, even though my wardrobe outfit wasn't the greatest choice.
No, it doesn't matter. Everybody's dress is very bad on that show.
They're doing some guest hosting spots, and it's going to be released here pretty soon, but I have the opportunity to do one of those.
Let's go!
That was during Aaron Rodgers' weekly appearance on the Pat McAfee Show. Rodgers announcing he'll be a guest host on a feature episode of Jeopardy! It was about 5.5 years ago. He won Celebrity Jeopardy! Where he donated the $50,000 prize. Also commented on his wardrobe there, of course. He donated $50 grand to his charity of choice.
The college football national champions are back home. The Alabama Crimson Tide arrived in Tuscaloosa after winning the college football playoff championship last night in Texas. Alabama defeated Ohio State 52-24. Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith captured the MVP award of the game. In the first half, he had 12 catches for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is head coach Nick Saban's 6th national title since joining Alabama in 2007 and 7th overall. Congratulations.
Stay with us. We'll have a final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
At Menards, we know how important it is to be comfortable in your home. Upgrade now with comfy interior furniture, and you'll get a free area rug. That's right, get a free 5x7 rug valued at $149.99 with the purchase of any upholstered living room furniture at $299 or more. Find the perfect furniture to fit any decor. From love seats to sofas, sectionals, and recliners, Menards has what you need to start relaxing now. Plus, get a free rug.
Save big money at Menards.
The day after chemo might mean a trip back to the doctor's office, just for a shot. But why go back there when you can stay home? With Neulasta Onpro, strong chemo can put you at risk of serious infection. In a key study, Neulasta reduced the risk of infection from 17% to 1%, a 94% decrease. Neulasta Onpro is designed to deliver Neulasta the day after chemo and is used by most patients today.
Neulasta is for certain cancer patients receiving strong chemotherapy. Do not take Neulasta if you're allergic to it, or Neupogen, filgrastim. An incomplete dose could increase infection risk. Ruptured spleen, sometimes fatal, as well as serious lung problems, allergic reactions, kidney injuries, and capillary leak syndrome have occurred. Report abdominal or shoulder tip pain, trouble breathing, or allergic reactions to your doctor right away. In patients with sickle cell disorders, serious, sometimes fatal crises can occur. The most common side effect is bone and muscle ache.
If you'd rather be home, ask your doctor about Neulasta Onpro. Pay no more than $5 per dose with copay card.
The forecast calls for a messy commute. The Ford lineup helps keep you in command. Intelligent four-wheel drive monitors traction, and a terrain management system adapts to road conditions at the turn of a knob. So you're ready to take on the elements with confidence.
Power through the storm in a new Ford Explorer, now with 0% financing for 72 months, plus $4,250 bonus cash. See your Wisconsin dealer today.
Love lower than low prices?
Then get more ways to save at Pick and Save, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today. The race to vaccinate is on. But like so many other states, Wisconsin's lagging behind. What's the holdup? News 3 Now breaks down the local vaccination chain and why you may have to wait a bit longer to roll up your sleeve. Thursday at 10.
Coming up here on the CBS Evening News, the labor of love. How one man's generosity helps the community ride together. That and more news tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
And before we leave you at 5, let's get a final check with Gary.
Well, right now, things looking pretty nice around here. You can see the live view from the Edgewater Skycam. Not seeing much in the way of fog around the Capitol. That's good news. Madison reporting a visibility of 10 miles, but there is some light fog to our north and east and also farther out to the west over parts of Iowa and even down to the south and northern Illinois. And we'll see some patchy fog overnight. Right now, right at the freezing mark in Madison, Janesville's dropped off to 30, but to the west, temperatures are still above freezing, including 37 in Boscobel. By morning, we'll be down to about 25. Look for some patchy fog tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's high 36. Mixed precipitation on Thursday, some light snow with minor accumulations Thursday night, and some flurry chances off and on from Friday through much of next week.
Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.